Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be testing out some of the top rated makeup products at Walmart.com, and these are the products that got 5 stars on their website that I haven't already tried. So I just got a few items that we're going to test and see how we feel about them, if they're worth those 5 stars that they have online. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so here is my little box from Walmart.com. And we're going to go ahead and get started on testing out their 5-star products. The first thing that we're going to try out is an eyeshadow palette from Wet n Wild. It's called Walking on Eggshells. Here's what that looks like. And it says, coordinating trio shades take the guesswork out of creating the perfect eye look. Beautifully enhances any eye color, all day crease resistant color. So we'll go ahead and see if we can make a little look out of just this palette. And I have already primed with my Smashbox 24-hour eyeshadow primer that I usually use. And I'm first going to get rid of the little miniature sponge and brush that comes in there, because I already know they're going to be no use to me. And we're going to use the shade they have labeled as Crease as our crease shade, like it says. And I'm just going to take a Crown Brush's crease brush to apply that with. Kind of shimmery, which I normally don't use as a crease shade, but we're gonna go with it for the purpose of testing it out. Picked up a lot more than I should have. I wasn't expecting it to be so pigmented. I'm going to go in with a clean Wet n Wild blending brush and just kind of buff out those edges to fade it out a little bit here on the edge. Comes with 3 shadows, and one of them is a highlight shade. I kind of have to work with what we got, so I'm just kind of fading out the edges of this shade to kind of make it look like we have a crease and a transition, even though we don't. Go in with the shade labeled Eyelid and put that on the eyelid. I want to use the Vasanti eyeshadow brush 2 for this, just a flat shader brush. I see how it applies dry first, but I may end up wetting it if it's not as intense as I like. Not too bad. I have to say, it applied a lot better than I expected. Put just a little more on. just going to take that brush without any additional product that we use the crease shade on, just to kind of marry the two here, where I put some in the outer corner. The next thing I have to try is the LA Girl Pro Coverage HD High Definition Long Wear Illuminating Foundation. And I ordered it in the shade Fair, which I think is going to maybe be a little too dark, but we'll make it work. It says it's a medium to full coverage, smooth, long wearing, flawless looking finish. To use, apply to face with sponge or brush. And I've heard a lot of good things about this foundation. I've never tried it, so when I saw it was one of their 5-star items on Walmart.com, I decided to go ahead and give it a go. And I'm going to go ahead and apply it with my Eco Tools blending sponge. I'm going to start off with one pump and see how far that gets us. I almost forgot to prime. I'm going to use the NYX Pore Filler Primer. This isn't from Walmart.com, but I didn't get a primer there, so we're just going to apply this real quick. Yeah, definitely a little yellow, but we'll see what we can do with it. It has a paint type smell to it, which a lot of foundations do these days, I've noticed. Definitely say that shade is off. I thought, you know, Fair would be good for me because that's normally what I am, but they did have a porcelain, so I may end up having to try the porcelain because this one's a little too yellow for my skin type, but it'll work for the purpose of the video. I do like the finish of it. It's really nice. Kind of reminds me of L'Oreal Pro Glow in a way. Has decent coverage, but it still has that glowy finish to it. It does emphasize pores a little bit, but that's because it's illuminating, and most illuminating things will do that, but it does feel nice and moisturizing on the skin, just like the Pro Glow does. It doesn't feel dry and chalky like matte foundations. We'll see how it wears. If it wears decent, I'll definitely have to get the porcelain shade and give it a try. And I ended up doing 2.5 pumps just to get the coverage that I liked, because like it says on the bottle, it is medium to full, so it starts off as medium, but then when I put in that second pump, it brought it more to a full coverage. And next I have to try the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer. It says it's tested under 7 light conditions. It says it instantly brightens and perfects appearance of skin, conceals imperfections, dark spots, and blemishes, gentle enough to use on the delicate under eye area. And I got the shade Light Ivory. The box looks like it comes in. Here's the packaging. And it does say it's cruelty free, which I think most, or if not all, Wet n Wild products are. Just going to apply this under the eye like I normally would. I've heard some people compare this to Shape Tape, so we'll see how we feel about those claims. I'm going to put just a tad more. Good, it covers good. Has decent coverage. Finish is not bad. Now, I don't think I would compare it to Shape Tape because it isn't as thick and high coverage as that, but it does remind me of kind of a Maybelline Fit Me concealer or the Maybelline Age Rewind. It does kind of give that type of coverage, but I wouldn't put it up there with as high as coverage of the Tarte Shape Tape. But it is something that I'll continue to use. The Tarte Shape Tape is more of a high coverage, you know, real full face of makeup, like going out type makeup thing for me anyhow, but this would be more of an everyday concealer. I am going to go ahead and set it with a little Laura Mercier translucent powder. Alright, and next to try out we have by Physicians Formula, their Butter Bronzer. It's their Muru Muru Butter Bronzer. It says it's won Beauty People Awards. This is another thing that's been very hyped up online. So it says Brazilian Luxury Ultra Luxurious Bronzer infused with Muru Muru Butter delivers a radiant Brazilian goddess glow. Moisturizing wonder features ultra refined pearls and soft focused pigments that smooth skin texture, brighten skin tone, and deliver a gorgeous bronze finish. It says it's a skin pampering bronzer. Ultra rich bronzer instantly melts into skin, sealing in moisture to deliver instant and lasting hydration. Incredibly creamy and soft texture combines the best features of a powder and cream bronzer to deliver a lit from within tropical glow unlike any other. Featuring unique sponge applicator specifically designed to be used with creamy bronzer formula. What I've heard online, it does have a tropical scent to it as well. That's what the packaging looks like. It's pretty. The bronzer. And it lifts up here and has a mirror and then the applicator. The applicator is very weird. I'm not going to use that. I'm going to just use a Wet n Wild brush that I have here. Oh, and it does have a smell. It's kind of like a tannin lotion. I'm trying to decide if I like that or not. Just going to apply that as kind of a bronzer and contour. See how it works. It does go on nice and smooth and blends well, not patchy at all. I guess that's the moisturizing effect to it. It helps it blend because it is softer. My It Cosmetics Heavenly Luxe complexion brush and the smaller side of that just to take a little down the nose here. What I'm going to do is take that shade that was labeled crease shade here and apply that to the bottom waterline. Or not the waterline, but the bottom lash line, I mean. I'm just using an e.l.f. flat eyeliner brush just to kind of press that against the lash line. And then I'll go back over and kind of wiggle it a bit to blend it out. Shade labeled Brow Bone, and I'm going to put that in the inner corner and on the brow bone. Alright guys, I'm back. I went ahead and threw on some blush and some lipstick while I waited on my camera to cool down, and for blush I just used one of the e.l.f. blushes from a contouring blush and bronzing powder duo. It's in the shade Fiji. Walmart does sell e.l.f., so I don't know if they have this or if it's one of the 5-star products, but I thought I would let you know what I did apply. And then for my lips, I used a Tarte lip paint in Home Slice. So now what I'm going to do is go ahead and I'm actually going to use the shade that's labeled Brow Bone in this palette, And I'm going to apply that as a highlight. I thought that would be a nice highlight shade for my skin tone. I'm just going to use my e.l.f. highlighting brush to do that. Wow, that's really pretty. I think a little better than I expected. A lot more blinding than I expected. It is a little powdery. I mean, of course it's an eyeshadow and not meant to be a full-on cheek highlight, but I think that once we put on some setting spray, it'll look even better. And the last thing that we have to try is a mascara, and it's by Rimmel London. It's their 24-hour Super Speed Volume Flash Mascara. It says 1 stroke, 0 clump volume mascara. Full volume in 1 zigzag. And I got it in the shade 3 Extreme Black. I've never tried this or any Rimmel mascaras for that matter, but it had 5 stars, so I thought I would give it a try. It says, formula with gel-like texture and quick fix polymer, builds volume and sets in seconds for instant lightweight full volume. Zigzag brush untangles each lash from root to tip in 1 swipe. Here's the outside packaging. And here's the brush. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply this like I normally would. See how it does. Dip it again, see if we can get some more product on the brush. There we go. Well, it did alright. I can see the volume, but I don't see like the thickness I'm looking for. Like my hair, my eyelashes are kind of thin, so I like a mascara that does give them more fullness at the same time with the volume. Don't know how I'm feeling about it, and it is a little tricky for the bottom lashes because of those zigzag bristles. Some of the bristles are longer, some are shorter, so the longer ones kind of touch your skin under your lower lashes and leave those little black marks, which, I mean, you can get rid of, but it can be kind of a pain. So that was all that I had of their 5-star products to try, and overall everything I really liked. The eyeshadow palette, I don't like the fact that it didn't have a matte shade we could use for our transition or crease, because that's what I'm used to using, but even though the brown was kind of shimmery, it doesn't look too bad on the eyes. The foundation looks really nice. I really like the finish of it. I like how it feels on the skin. After setting it, it's not tacky or anything, and it doesn't feel too heavy, and it was buildable, so you can use it for medium coverage, or if you want full, you can go in like I did and do 2.5 pumps. And I really like that so far. I did like how the eyeshadow worked as a nice highlight, as you can see. The bronzer is good. It's not patchy. It's a good shade for my skin. Not too dark, not too orange. The only thing that I don't really think I'll be using is the mascara. Like I said, it does give you volume, but I need some more fullness in mine, and it just didn't give me that. And then the bristles are really hard to work with as far as your bottom lashes go. So I don't know if I like that. Maybe those who reviewed it and gave it 5 stars already have thick lashes. I don't know. Or they're just not looking for as much fullness as I am. Let me know, guys, if there's another store you would like me to do this with, where we test out their top rated products and see if they're really worth the reviews that they're getting online. I do think that what I'm going to do next is do some of the lowest rated products just to test them out and see how I feel about those. It would be something fun to do. So I think that I may turn it into kind of a series where we do top rated, and then a few weeks later maybe try the bottom rated for that same store. So let me know below if there's any other stores you would like me to try. I already have some in mind, but let me know if you have any you would like to see. And as always, thanks for watching, guys. Bye.